Hello there, I'm the base manager and welcome back to Satisfactory. Now, today we are going to attempt and build our very first manufacturing floor in our manufacturing plant. The plant where we are going to fabricate all the advanced components. Now, the first advanced component that we need, and we are going to need it desperately, is the heavy modular frame. This thingy is pretty much required for anything advanced, shall we say. The manufacturers require it, the new trucks require it, pretty much a bunch of stuff requires it, and if we want to build more manufacturers, we are going to need more of them. So yeah, this is one of the first things that we have to use. Now, we came to the conclusion that this thing was going to need ridiculous amounts of stuff, right? Because, well, if we want to produce bare minimum 10 units per minute, which is like nothing, we needed 25 assemblers crafting us a bunch of regular stuff so that we could then upgrade it into the advanced stuff. In this case, the modular frames to be turned into heavy modular frames, right? Yeah, this is a big nope. 25 machines require, well, a bunch of other supporting infrastructure, right? So, we went and we hunted a bunch of power shards, if I can find them. Yes, they are here, 97 power shards. Now, after I thought about this a little bit, this is actually not going to help us out tremendously because, well, how should I put it? We can decrease this number from 25 to 10 by overclocking this to 250%. However, that means each machine is going to require 3 power shards, meaning that by the end of the day, just to diminish this from 25 to 10, we are going to use 30 of our 97 power shards. Ridiculous. But oh well, it is what it is. So yeah, I thought about it and we are going to overcharge this one and maybe this one over here. However, we are not going to do a full overcharge. We are just going to do the first level to increase the production to 150. And this way we can go from 15 to 10 as well. And that way we use 40 power shards just on these two items. Oh, come on, bro. I'm trying to be dramatic here. It's one of those things, right? But in any case, we also collected a few other things, such as the new recipes, and while I was increasing this platform and making it a little bit prettier, one of the things has been researched. So how about we come over here into a map and see what kind of recipes we have. Please tell me we have something good. Of course we don't, obviously. Duh. What were you expecting? In any case, bunch of cable at a lower rate production and more complicated. How about here? Just no. No, this one is a big nope. This I don't even use beacons, so I don't care about them. Heavy turbo fuel. Using the heavy oil residue, and I mean this might be useful later on. I don't know. We still have 2 extra drives, so we will have additional chances for 2 extra recipes. Hopefully we will find a good recipe that will help us out facing the problems that we are facing right now. But with all of that said, now comes the most interesting of parts. I will have to slam like 5 billion machines into a production floor. Ain't that beautiful? I think that it is. Now, our production floor is not that big. If we take a look at this, can I climb just a little bit to get an advantage, you know? Alright, you suck. But yeah, we don't have a lot of production floor over here. This is terrible. Just these 5 machines occupy 10% of my bare minimum, 10 to 20% of all of our factory floor. So yeah, this is going to be very interesting. And by the way, my friends, we are only taking into consideration the modular frames. The encased industrial beams, we are receiving them from the outside world, from the steel mill. Not exactly at the rate that we need, but we can ignore that. We can pretend, okay? Let's just pretend. It's one of those things. But we still need to do the screws and the steel pipes into ridiculous levels. We are going to need 1,000 screws. 1,000 screws per minute. Ain't that beautiful? I think that it is. Oh boy. And, well, the pipes are manageable at 150 per minute. Well, it's fine, I suppose. But yeah, that is not even, like, we are not taking that into consideration. I don't even know how many machines we... Like, that's a problem for future me, okay? Like, yeah. Present me just needs to figure out the very first thing. The modular frames. So, here's the thing, my friends. We will need to work backwards in this thing, right? What I mean by that is we need to start by building the very first thing, which is the foundries and the smelters, in sufficient numbers, and then proceed by building all the infrastructure that is needed afterwards. But here's the thing, I just thought about something. If this, the very first recipe that we are going to build in here, is already this ridiculous, I can only imagine the rest of stuff, okay? It's... no. No. So what we are going to do, instead of having like a modular foundry over here that has only the sufficient numbers to produce stuff for that, blah 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 blah, yeah, screw that, we are going to take everything that smelts and foundries stuff. Really? God damn it, here I am trying to sound all dramatic and that thing keeps interrupting me. Jesus. But we are going to take everything foundry and smelter and we are going to put it in a proper floor for itself. A floor that is going to be located beneath the platform over here that is supposed to receive the trucks in the future, right? This thing, disregard this ugly stuff over here, I'll take care of it later. We can have a room just dedicated to smelting. Oh boy, there is poison down there as well. It's not going to be fun to work there, I can tell you that much already. But yeah, like, just... my idea is just build a bunch of stuff, like, a bunch. How many? I don't know. How many is a bunch? I don't know. It's that many, okay? How much you are imagining it, that's how many I'm going to build. And hopefully, in that bunch, we will produce more than enough for at least a couple of recipes, hopefully. And yeah, maybe I'll just extend the resources that I have in here to the maximum, I don't know. I still have a bunch of iron nodes that are untaken, so I might just, you know, scan them, take them, and send them all into the new foundry area. So, pretty much these are the two final nodes that we have available to us. And there is a weird noise around you, what the hell? Whoa! Okay, I think I found what that noise is. Rapid water movement, okay. That's totally fine. But as I was going to say, this is like the final two nodes of resources that we have. A pure one, and please be pure as well. Beautiful, pure as well. Okay. So... I really don't remember how much stuff we can produce out of this. Obviously. No, it's equipment workshop. Build another one of these, because I don't have already enough scattered across the map. Build me 2 portable miners, please. I don't have space for it, because why would I have space for that? Okay. Time to just get this thing into my inventory. Okay, so this thing can produce up to 240 units per minute, of which we can transport 270. Which would mean that we would have access to 540 iron ore per minute. And that's actually not a lot. That's actually not a lot. What is that? Compacted coal, and this is one is using the coke, the sniffy stuff. The regular one is this one, producing 45. I mean, the ratios are still the same. You are using, you know, 7. Oh no, in this one you get more. How about you? You also get more. Okay, maybe that petroleum coke will be useful after all. You see, we have the ability to produce petroleum coke. We just don't have a lot of it. Okay. I don't like. It's been a few days since I built that thing, so I don't really remember what we are producing in our chemical plant. But I would assume that maybe we are producing enough for a couple of foundries. We don't need to have all of the foundries having the same recipe. We can have like let's say 2 or 3 doing this one, which would give us a good boost, right, to our steel, and then we can have a couple of others having just a regular recipe, right? All that we care is that in the end we have like 3 or 4 belts filled up with a bunch of steel, right? So yeah, let's just clean house over here and put that thing over there, and take these resources all the way to the other side, which is going to be annoying because it's like these are the furthest 2 nodes from the place we want them, so yeah. Well, my friends, just bringing the iron here was a challenge already. Oh boy. Yeah, this is actually a pretty long belt, my friends, because we had to take it from all the other way from the other side, right, through this construction valley where we are producing plates and whatnot. Once I arrived in here, I actually thought to myself, I could have probably used this node. But oh well, we are already here, so why not? Let's just use what we have. And yeah, then we have to go all the way underneath the main platform, right, through the road, and finally, just finally, over this little thing so that we can connect it over there. Now, this melting platform is going to be... it's not going to be very big. And this thing is a 20 by 5, so I hope that we can fit a bunch of machines inside of it, but yeah, we actually are not going to be producing that much because we don't have a lot of resources anyway, so yeah, well, in any case, very first thing done. We already have the iron over there, we just need to power up the machines over there, and that's going to be it. Now, while we were doing that, let's try not to kill ourselves. While we were doing that, the ma'am got another recipe for us, so how about we go there and see what we have this time. And this time we roll the dice and we got... oh, okay, so we got something different this time. Yes, maybe, because here's the thing, we need the same amount of frames, right? Awesome. Okay, that much is covered. 2 less steel beams and rubber instead of pipes. We have a bunch of rubber that we are not using, and the same amount of stuff, and we even have more, which, like, it's awesome. Yes, please. I don't... this would be nice, but I don't care about that. Let's give that a try. Oh, finally something going our way. Beautiful. One less thing for worry about. Oh my lord, I can't believe it. We are not going to have to set up pipes. Yes! Beautiful. A victory for us, my friends. A victory for us. Now I just need to create a way to get there and start working on that foundry thingy. And then once we have the foundry thingy done, we have to go all the way to our chemical plant over there in the distance. Could you please hurry up? Run faster, engineer, run faster. All the way over there. We need to see first how much petroleum coke we can produce, how much rubber we are producing. If we need to increase the rubber, we still have 1 pipe left of petroleum, so we could put it in. Oh my lord, words are missing me today. Put it into rubber production, which would be nice. You know, hello. Put the fingers in the right keys, please. Thank you. So yeah. This one first, then we go into the chemical refinery, see what numbers we are working with, and then we'll come back in here to set up all the machines. So pretty much this would be the idea. We would have like plenty of space in the back of the machines to get all the belts going and whatnot, and then in the front we would have it highly compressed, wasting as little space as possible. This is going to be a challenge because there is a belt right there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah, this requires a belt between the mergers and whatnot. So yeah, it's going to be complicated, shall we say. But in the end, it is going to be totally worth it. I think we will be able to produce a bunch of steel and then use said steel in alternate recipes that are in the end going to help us out by being, easier, because alternate recipes that use steel produce a bunch more stuff, so yeah. In fact, because we now have an alternate recipe, we don't need to have 5 machines. If we are producing 3.7, we only need 3 machines, which is just like, first is going to throw all the calculations off balance, but in a good way, because it's like we are going to cut our requirements in 2/5. That's 40%? Yeah, that's 40%. 40% less machines just because of that alternate recipe, my friends. Yes, please, and thank you very much. I love the idea, and I want this recipe to go forward. But wait a moment. My brain does not calculate. I thought it was the same requirements. I thought I seen that in the MAM thingy. Because one is far more demanding than the other. This one is more demanding on stuff. It requires almost double the amount of stuff. Interesting. Oh wait, it's the same per cycle, but this one has a faster cycle of 16 seconds. Well, this one is 30 seconds. And that's why it can produce almost double, because it's half the speed. Okay. So we'll have to be producing pretty much the same amounts. Okay. Disregard my previous happiness then. But oh well, my friends, all of those things aside, let's continue with what it really matters. We need to go and see how much coke we can produce. Petroleum coke, by the way, YouTube. To have an idea on how many machines we can feed using the byproducts of our chemical plant. We need 75 per minute per machine. Okay, let's go all the way over there and see how much we are producing. Or we have the capability of producing, because technically we are not producing anything just yet, because, well, there was no point in producing that, so I didn't put it into production. But all of that is going to change now. I also need to put an hypertube connection on that thing, because I have to run a lot to get into where I want to go, so maybe an hypertube would also be nice on that thing, but that's for the future, of course. Now we are producing stuff, so let's focus on that. Alright, so here we are, let's take a look. We are producing 20 per minute out of 10 machines, 20 machines, 20 times 20. Game, let me see how much that is. That 400. So I now come to the realization that this pipe is insufficient to carry all of that fluid, because this thing can only transport 300 per minute. We have an extra 100. That's not good. That's not good at all. Which means I need to disconnect 5 machines from the main grid. Okay, more headaches for me. I love those. I don't, but oh well. So what does that turn into, like, coke stuff? Show me. 40 per minute, 120 coke. Oh boy, we are going to have so much coke, my friends. Oh boy, our engineer is going to be happy for a very long time, that much I can tell you. With the petroleum coke, of course. If we have 400, we can make 10 machines, meaning we have 1200 petroleum coke per minute. Awesome. Oh, cool. Oh wait, no. What am I saying? No, we are producing 200 from there and 100 from here. Here I was, like, almost insulting past me, saying that I made a mistake. What, me making a mistake? That never happens. That's what I thought. I was not making a mistake. So we have 300, not 400 per minute. That is not as good, but still, we can make it happen. Let's see. We need 40 per minute. Let's go into the trusty calculator. We have 300. If we divide it by 40, we can have 7.5 machines. If we have 7.5 machines, times 120, that means 900 petroleum coke. It's still a lot of coke, my friends. So, yeah, this thing. This is going to be good, because well, maybe not all of it, but a bunch of it is going to be transported over there and transformed into beautiful steel. I think it's 75 that we need, so let's go back into the calculation. And 900 dividing by 75, that can feed 12 freaking foundries, my friends. 12 foundries. That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Now, back into resource thingy. What are we producing when it comes to the rubber stuff? We are producing a whopping 200 per minute. That's actually not a lot. That's actually not a lot. We might need to increase that to 400 per minute, which would mean that we then would be producing even more coke, meaning we can feed even more machines. Okay. Okay, so now we have the numbers over here. We can go back into the foundry, build that to receive all of the supposed items that we are going to be producing, and then we come back in here and take care of all of this, because this is going to be an industry out of itself. It's going to be redonkulous, fitting all of those machines into a tight little corner, but oh well. We can manage, I'm pretty certain. Alright, my friends, so with the amount of petroleum coke that we are producing, 2 belts of iron is not going to be enough, I'm afraid. In fact, 3 belts are not enough, but 3 belts is the best we can do. So how are we going to achieve 3 belts of iron without really like deconstructing this? Because technically speaking, we need this to make us plates, because plates is like the basic stuff of all foundations and walls and stuff, and we need a bunch of that. In here, for a moment I thought I had like one of those things in there and I had a collapse, and that doesn't matter. In any case, what we are going to be doing is we are going to build a smart splitter right in here. If I can align it, it would be perfect, beautiful. And then we connect this belt over there, this belt over here, and then we pull this belt like, I don't know, I will find a way to put it over there, right? And what we do is we come over here, and let's see, this is the center one, this is the left one. We tell center iron. So let's go over here. I don't think it is totally necessary to select the output, but whatever. The right one is not going to have anything, and the left one we are going to have overflow, meaning it only flows over there once this line is full. Oh, but I want this, I'm sorry, I want this backwards actually. I want the iron to flow that way and only flow this way when we actually have overflow going on, because, you know, that line is not going to be constantly producing. We might not even sink the resources, we might just store them, which means the line would stall. If it stalls, then it backs up all the way over here. If it backs up all the way over here, we want the iron to continue flowing into these machines to replenish the amount of steels that we've been using, right? Makes sense, because this is like secondary. It is stopped right now. We are not using this node for anything. So it's one possible solution to get more resources out of this. So I think I'm going to be using it. Now, if you excuse me, I have a third line to take all the way over there. Alright, my friends, so with a new belt of resources, we now have access to a bunch more steel. But how much? Well, let's take a look, shall we? We are now producing 270 iron times 3 belts, right? It's not really, but it's close to. Okay, let's pretend. There is a lot of pretending in my builds, as you probably already are familiar with. So we have 810 divided by 75, which is the requirements for each one, is, well, 11 machines. We are going to round down that number into 10 machines, because 11 is not pair, and these things require to be paired, because if we are producing 100 units of iron per machine, that means that we need one belt for every 2 machines, because this belt only can carry 270. If we have 3 machines, that would mean 300, which is more than 270, right? So yeah, this is actually made life a little bit simpler. We now have 5 belts of 200 iron per minute, which is awesome. I mean, it's more than I was expecting for such a small amount of machines. That is actually pretty impressive. And what the hell was that noise? I don't know. Probably one of those ginormous animals just doing whatever. I don't. Let's not divert from the main line of thought, shall we? Now, I just need to find a way to feed all of these machines. The buzz is very rude, and to bring the petroleum coke all the way over here, because this part is already done. I just need to feed them and plug them into the power grid, and it's done. It's done. I can't believe it. So simple and yet so complicated at the same time. So the way we are going to do this is like one belt goes over there, one belt goes over here, the middle belt splits between the two and feeds the main belt halfway through the feeding process, because this belt is right now is full, so we can't merge them right now. We need to merge them later on. Let me do that while we are already here, and then we can move towards the petroleum coke stuff. Alright, my friends, so recipes are inserted, belts are connected, troubleshooted, the wires are connected as well. The only things we have to do is bring the power and connect it to that node over there, and bring the coke all the way over here. But for that, we still need to produce that. We need to go into our chemical plant, pull out all of the residue that we are producing in our petroleum line, probably even increase it to produce more rubber, and then we can transport it. I think it's going to be the very first item that we are going to transport. We need to set up a station in there anyway, because we need to transport the rubber for the alternate recipe, and therefore we need that going ASAP. So yeah, but now that I think about it, I took more than 10 minutes building all of this. So I think the mem is already done with the final recipe that we have. How about we go and take a look before I move my engineer all the way back to the chemical plant. And for our final recipe we have, let's take a look, we have alternate steel ingots once again, which is coal plus iron ingots, 60 per minute. With this one we actually get a little bit more. We get 1/3 more than with the regular recipe when it comes to both a production rate and output, because we are technically doing, you know, 2 iron, 2 coal for 3, which this one is pretty good actually. I like this one. In here we got petroleum straight into polymer resin, which can only be crafted getting fuel. However, this one would get us the heavy oil residue. Okay, that's sure. And then we have alternate recipe for concrete using this. I mean silica. I don't like that one. I like this one the best. So I know I already have like 5 recipes for steel, but how about we get another one, because this one is actually pretty cool. I think this one is pretty beneficial. Yeah, now with that done, back into the chemical plant we go. Alright, my friends, we are back at our chemical plant. We need to take this and produce a bunch of coke with it. Right now we are using the heavy oil residue just to make the smokeless powder for the gunpowder, but well, I don't think we are going to need it anymore. First, we don't have more gunpowder, okay? That's by itself a small issue. Second, we have a good amount, and third, we have a huge amount of ammunition already, okay? We don't need more ammunition anytime soon, so we can get rid of this connection over here. Bam, bam. No more heavy residue for you, and no more soup for you, okay? And now we can divert this, so I think maybe another floor on top of this one. I think that's probably for the best. If we drop it down, however, we can... Oh, wait a second. No, we are going to drop this down, and here's the reason for that. Because if we have to move it upwards, right, let's say over there, we need pumps. Pumps cost power downwards, gravity does that for us, right? And then once we convert this into an item, from liquid into item, the elevators, they don't cost us any power, which would mean that we could just bring the stuff upstairs into a stop without using any power. I like that, you know. Being frugal with my power is probably a good idea, given that we are now over the line for power production, which is not great, not great. On the other side, however, we don't really have a lot of space in here. Yeah, as you can see, we are ridiculously over the production, which means we could face serious problems. Hope not, but that's a possibility. But in any case, we have the issue of not having like a lot of space, so let's see what we can make with the small amount of space that we have available to us. Alright, so with 8 tiles of space, is that enough to fit one of these bad boys? Game, please don't lie too much, okay? Well, the game says yes, but the game sometimes lies, okay? I don't trust the game. This game lies too much for my tastes, so we really need to make sure that we verify that the game is not fooling us. Let's go like so. Come on. Can I put a far... Okay, we can barely. We can see over there. It's not clipping on the bottom floor, which is really nice. Okay, 8. So, just for reference, my friends, to make refinery rooms, we actually need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tiles of freaking space. That is like a lot. And that would require 2 pumps to bring the heavy oil residue all the way to the other floor. So, yeah. I like that we brought it down. Now we are not going to have a ton of space because these things are in the way. Like, they are not super in the way, but they are a little bit in the way, unfortunately. However, what we could do is go like... no, they are still in the way. This thing over there. Okay. That's fine. I barely have enough space, my friends, to put down a sufficient amount of machinery to process the heavy oil residue that we have right now. We need, so pretty much, right? We are producing 300, we need 40 per machine, so that's 7.5, meaning one machine, like the last one, overclocked by a little bit, right? We just need like 50%. 150, it's just fine for us. Beautiful. So we need 7 machines, and I barely have enough space for them. Yeah, that's 7. I counted correctly. I still know how to count to 7, which is pretty nice. Pretty good to know. I still have that level of sanity, because sometimes I question it myself. But yeah, from here on out, we collect all of the stuff, which is going to be more than one belt can handle. If we are like 7.5... times 120, 7.5 times 120. Okay, that's a lot. That's 4 belts worth of stuff. 1 belt per 2 machines. Okay, it was an easy calculation. I don't know why I didn't reach it sooner. But yeah, that means 1, 2, 3, 4 belts worth of petroleum coke. The last one is not going to be precisely full, but well, that's whatever. Right, 3.5 belts. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool. All right, time to set it up. Let's bring that heavy oil residue down, connect it to all the machines, power them up, and have the produce being delivered upstairs. Okay, so first we make a pipeline floor hole. Right, we connect these over there. Beautiful. From the hole, we connect it over there. Oh, come on, over there, over here, and then like, come on game, you know what I want to do. Please don't be like that. Thank you. And gravity is going to help bring that with a tremendous velocity, because this is heavy oil residue, therefore I assume it's heavy. And if it is heavy, even though mass doesn't, even though we all know that gravity doesn't affect mass, we also all know that psychologically speaking, we all know that mass affects gravity, right? So... I know, don't use my science on your science test, okay, my friends, because it might go poorly for you. But in any case, we now just need to split these amongst these 7 machines, and all is done. Beautiful, simple and effective. I love when things turn out like that. My friends, are we ready? I am. The first step in all of this journey is now concluded. We are producing petroleum coke. This will unlock the production of both plastic and rubber. Plastic will stall a little bit because there is nothing for it to do. I'm just going to sink the plastic so that the line doesn't stop. Yeah, that's pretty much it, my friends. We now have petroleum coke being produced. We can now transport it out of here in I don't know how I'm going to bring this. Every time I talk there is an autosave. I don't really know how I'm going to bring the stuff upstairs. Maybe through here? It would be nice. Like let's see, does this interfere with any... Oh no, perfect. Because we could have like technically something along this line. We could, let's go walls, just to make it prettier, of course. There is like, how are we going to do this? Like, it's simple now. It's just elevators, right? Like, there is no science to it. But, just to make it pretty, if I can, please, you know what I want to do, game. You know what I want to do, and yet you just derp out. We can, like, bring something like this, and then we do, like, you know, we open up that wall, we reconnect from that level to the level upstairs, and then we bring it even upper in the spire. That is going to give some texture to this blocky mess, and it's a helpful way of actually transporting the stuff all the way upstairs. So yeah, I think I'm going to do this this way. So excuse me. And this is built backwards, because why would not be it built backwards, obviously. Oh, my friends, look at this. Look at this beautiful coke being transported. Ain't this beautiful? I think it is. I think that it is. Of course, we still need to make a platform and all of that jazz and blah blah blah, transporting all the way upstairs. Bunch of complicated stuff. But in the end, well, we are one step closer. So I think I can finally abandon this. When I say abandon, I mean, you know, leave it forever, like never come over here again, because it's working. Only coming back over here to expand production when need be. So yeah, pretty cool. Let's go upstairs, build the platform, and hopefully get all of this into the other factory before the end of the episode. That would be pretty nice. Alright, my friends, the platform is now built, finally. This took me a sweet second to get rolling, but yeah. Right now we only have 3 stations. If we need more, we expand that way. We already have the roadways marked and everything. Now we are going to bring the stuff via like this thing over here. Could you please? Thank you. I really didn't know knew how to bring the stuff all the way over there, because this is quite tall and vehicles are going to be driving through here and whatnot. So I built these like frame thingies. We need to be careful because that is a hole and we can fall through. And well, that brings the conveyor all the way over here. We then have this lift that drops the stuff into a decent level to be transported over into the station itself, like so. We then have a little bit of space over here to transverse with the vehicle to the next station, and this way we can keep things compact and organized. Now, to fuel the trucks, maybe we should use some petroleum coke, because this is what we are going to be, you know, transporting. And if one fuel load is more than enough to go into the space station and come back, then we don't refuel it on the other side, because the other side has coal and not petroleum coke. However, we can always divert a little bit of the stuff that we transport over there to be used as fuel for this one. So yeah, because I really didn't want to bring coal over here, you know. It's easier to fuel up with coke over there than it is to bring coal over here for fuel purposes. So yeah, now things are clipping a little bit over there, so we are just going to pretend that they are not. We can't really see them, so it's fine, right? All that it matters is that now we have the petroleum coke ready to be transported out of here, and we don't have to go... by the way, we can deconstruct the ladder now. We don't need to access that side anymore. Right now we are going to be transporting 2 belts. The third belt we'll have to go into another station, so I need to expand this a little bit. So 2 trucks from here go into the space station for the parts, which means we need to paint this blue. I can't forget that. I think it's this one, right? I think it's this one. Okay, we need to paint this blue so that I don't forget. And by the way, the vehicles as well. Can I build the vehicles? I can. Okay, cool. They are going to go that way, so please put them correctly. Let's just orientate them. Bam, one right there, and another one right there. But yeah, pretty much this is how things are going to go over here. So yeah, we can now start thinking about setting up the routes and whatnot. I still need to power this, bring the other belt into that thingy and whatnot. But yeah, pretty much this is going to be the design, and things are already ready to go. So yeah, let's just do the final setup and get a move on with these things. We need the coke on the other side right now. Alright my friends, and we are back now with all of the lines set up. I also did some work over there, making sure that the petroleum coke is redirected towards the forge via belts, so that we don't have to do that right now. That's kind of boring, right? And yeah, we have now 3 paths going from the truck stop all the way to our space elevator factory, my friends. This one is for the 2 lines of petroleum coke. This one over here is for the 1 line, and then we have this one over here, which is going to carry the rubber that we also need, right? And yeah, all the paths for those things are already set up. So now I just have to enable the vehicles. I chose not to enable the vehicles because, well, truth be told, it wasn't exactly necessary to be transporting the stuff right now, and they would just get in the way of us recording the other paths, so I just decided to left them in here. Now I'm going to sit in here, wait for them to turn that corner and appear over there, and then I enable the next one and then the next one. I want to stagger them a little bit, and given that climbing this spire takes a little bit of time, I think that's more than enough for the staggering process. I also did some beautification. I created an hyper tube that goes all the way downstairs into the chemical plant, and just a platform for said hyper tube. Nothing special. I also am now on the process of working on how are we going to cover this thing, and I think this is going to be the way. But, you know, I still need to see if it blends well, and if it does, then in between episodes I'll just complete the entire side of the chemical plant. Alright my friends, we have chemicals moving through the system, although very slowly, at least for now. Thank you game for the autosave lag, always on time for the, you know, waiting for me to talk to do the autosave, but oh well. I've been sitting in here monitoring them, making sure they don't get stuck. After all, I can see the platform from here, which means I can see them stop and recharge, or in this case, getting the stuff in there, and now I can see it being transported all the way over here, which is pretty nice. So... Yeah, now we have the materials coming over here, we just need to slot them into the foundry. Look at all these cokes flowing straight into my foundry. Alright, so with all of this product flowing straight into my foundry, my friends, I think the time has come for us to kickstart this thing. Oh boy, this was so much effort, my friends. But now, all that I have to do is, well, find a power node. I don't think we even have power nodes in here. Oh boy. Another thing to add to the to-do list. Okay, so we have a live wire going down all the way to the foundry area. One last thing to do, my friends. One last thing. Connect this point over here. Come on. And now everything should come into living. Let's take a look. I'm pretty certain that I have placed the recipes on all of the machines. Do we see everything flowing? Oh, no, there is one without a recipe. Obviously, there is always one. However, everything else is flowing very nicely, and we like to see that. Over here, do we see a nice flow of goodies? Yes, we do, which means that everything is being, how should I put it? All the machines are now working, and that means that now we have a fantastic set of belts filled up with a bunch of steel, my friends, and that is just fantastic, because now we can use all of that steel, 1,000 steel, to make, well, whatever our hearts desire. We have a lot of recipes, alternate recipes, that use steel for screws and rods, I think. So I think we'll be using those, because those produce far more components. But well, my friends, I think we are going to cut it here. I started the episode by saying we were going to set this thing up. Yeah, no, not in a million years. It's going to take multiple episodes to get everything done. I'm pretty certain, even though, well, truth be told, we already have most of the materials over here. We have the steel. Well, from a certain angle, this thing looks like poop. Very interesting. We have the steel, we have the industrial beams, we have the rubber. Over there inside I still haven't railed it in, but well, I'll take care of that in the future. Which means we only need to take care of like screws and the intermediary producers for that thing. So maybe we can get it done in 1 or 2 episodes, right? But I suppose we'll all have to see, wait for the future to see if that happens or not. But well, my friends, with all of that said, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode and that you are enjoying the series so far. If you are, please consider subscribing and help the channel grow. But in the meantime, this is the Base Manager signing out. Bye bye!